Most people, when they see an image like this, their first reaction is fear. They see this lone individual, unarmed, walking along this woodland path at night. It's very foggy, and then out of the fog appears this giant creature holding up two giant hands. Many people would run the other way. But wait a minute. Doesn't it seem as if the creature is telling you to stop? Perhaps it's warning you of some danger ahead. In that case, why would you be afraid? The creature would have your best interest in mind. If it didn't, why would it make itself so apparent? If you'd like to get read in on psychological operations and why sometimes the first thing we see and our first reaction is not the correct one, join us over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. $1 per month, even less if you sign up for an entire year. We've been able to partner with Vimeo to create videos that are outside the realm of Google. They can't touch us over there. And some have showed up, and the videos have been a little bit too much for them. Within the first 90 days, you can get a full refund of your $1 or $2 or $3. No questions asked. A few days ago, I put up a video talking about these fleets of UFOs moving with impunity across the planet. Some might ask why. What are they doing? How they're doing it and where they're doing it. Those are two different questions. We talk about the Pentagon networks, but the why. That's the big question. And I think I have uncovered something that a lot of you are going to be interested to know. Now, in this video from 12 March, we talk about the situation in Varginha, Brazil. There were these girls. They stumble upon a creature after a reported crash of a UFO. Brown skin, red eyes, ridges on its forehead, but very feeble, sickly, unable to move, and in need of trouble. But these red eyes, you see, we've heard of red eyes before. I made the allegation that perhaps in the light of the Brazilian sun, what these girls were seeing was just a reflection of a tapetum lucidum. It's something that primates mostly don't have, but animals do. I've made this allegation for a long time that these creatures aren't coming from outer space, but they're coming from beneath the ice sheet in Antarctica, where if you were living in and existing in low light or no light circumstances, you would need such a structure. Red eye, it's something that happens in photographs. When the pupils don't constrict quickly enough to adapt to the flash, and of course you see the light reflection off of the blood moving through the back of the eyeball. It's nothing more mysterious than that. But some animals have this thing called a tapetum lucidum. This particular image that I showed is from the eyeball of a cow. And that's where the tie-in comes. How many of you remembered these stories out of Oregon and out west where aliens have showed up and brought these cattle up and then dissected them and then dropped them in very strange states with eyeballs removed, with different organs removed? What could they possibly be doing? Why would they be interested in cows? Well, I think I have figured this out, and it goes exactly to what I am speaking of regarding Antarctica. The eyeballs of these aliens, or quote-unquote aliens, are very similar to that of cows. And this has been going on since the 50s, almost 70 years. Now, why would we be finding cattle with their eyeballs surgically removed, amongst other organs? Well, I think I can explain it. This is History.com. The mysterious history of cattle mutilation. The bovine corpses stunned the ranchers who found them. The animals' ears, udders, sex organs, and tongues had routinely been removed, seemingly with a sharp, clean instrument, and been drained of blood. Now, why would they be so interested in cows? This is 8 October from 2019. Not one drop of blood. Cattle mysteriously mutilated in Oregon. What are they doing? Well, cows are ungulates. Now, let's assume for 1 minute that these creatures are coming from beneath the ice sheet, not outer space. What would their requirements be? And what problems might they face? Ungulates are a group of large mammals that are distinguished from other animals by the presence of hooves. They are an extremely well-known and economically important group that include animals such as horses, camels, cows, amongst others. Almost all ungulates are herbivores, and they have evolved ways to break down difficult compounds in plants that would be toxic to other mammals such as humans. Now, if you scroll down here, and I'll give you this link, to what they call even-toed ungulates, the artiodactyls. They feed primarily on leaves and grass. The even-toed ungulates have evolved arguably the best digestive system of any mammal in order to cope with the tough compounds found in the plant tissues they survive on. Would that be something a civilization in Antarctica would be worried about? Well, absolutely. What if they were limited in what they could grow in Antarctica to live off of? What if they could modify their own physiology to be able to exist on grasses and herbs, unlike us? The animals of the suborder Ruminantia, which includes all even-toed ungulates, except the camel and pig families, have large chambered stomachs where food is held and undergoes microbial fermentation. Microorganisms in their stomachs possess enzymes that can split tough cellulose compounds found in plant tissue. The fermentation of food in the stomach by microbes improves digestion by releasing proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids, which are the three big macronutrients, lipids or fats, from plant tissue. And the nitrogen released during the breakdown of cellulose is used by the gut microbes to produce proteins, which are later digested in the animal's intestines. Bovids, cows, largest family of even-toed ungulates and the most economically important. They have the ability to do things we don't. This is a link I'll give you. It's ncbi.nlm.n. I'll just give you the link. It's a biological breakdown of all of this. To make it easier, cows can smell things up to 6 miles away, and here's the eyeball connection, they have an almost 360-degree panoramic vision. Most cows have the ability to digest things we don't, and can hear lower and higher frequencies better than humans. Oh, but it gets better. It gets even better. You see, this ability to see in low or no light is not just cows, but reindeer. Cows and reindeer have something in common. Their pupils are oval, and they have a blue-green tapetum in the back. It helps them see better at night. Now, here's the crazy part. Transforming eyes. Reindeer. They talk about Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer and his red nose. And they talk about flying reindeer. Well, wait a minute. What if these flying reindeer from the 1800s We're actually just people observing the same thing that have been observed in North America with cows. Reindeer are the only mammals whose eyes are known to change color. Why do they change color? They do so depending on the season. The eyes are gold during the summer when the reindeer experience almost constant sunlight. Just like in Antarctica, where they have 3 months of solid sun. But in the darkness of winter, their retinas become less reflective and their eyes appear blue. This isn't the only way that reindeer have adapted to the side of Arctic living. They're also the only known mammals able to see in ultraviolet. During the winter, just like in Antarctica, when the sun barely peaks above the horizon, most of the radiation that reaches the area is in the UV end of the spectrum. Snow also reflects around 90% of UV, and though that can cause snow blindness in humans, reindeer's hardier eyes use the fact to their advantage, which is exactly what a species living under the ice in Antarctica would want. It all adds up. All of it adds up. The reason they have been taking cows and the stories of flying reindeer from Russia, they're connected because this particular species needs to study them because they have adaptations that this species needs. 360-degree panoramic vision, the ability to see in UV, the ability to deal with both constant sunlight and constant darkness simultaneously, just like reindeer. If you divorce yourself from the idea that these creatures are from somewhere in outer space, and you start to look at the Antarctica connection, it's undeniable. What's going on? Their interest in cows and reindeer make perfect sense. Absolutely perfect sense, because they possess adaptations to their environment that humans don't need. But they do. Why? In Antarctica, you have many, many months of solid darkness and many, many months of solid sunlight. We don't have to deal with that. They do. What animals on the planet are adapted to that? Reindeer and cows. I don't know. If you can't see that, I don't think you'll see anything. But once again, join us over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. $1 per month, even less. 3 pennies per day. If you sign up for an entire year, which many people do. We would love to have you over there. We just put up a brand new video today. We're putting up a video about once a week, and trust me, you will want to be read in on what's coming. So, what if this creature said, "Fear not, for I bring good tidings of great joy. For unto you is born this day." Ah! And then you run off into the wilderness. And they look at each other and they go, "Man, that's the 10th guy this week. I wonder if we're going to be able to find anyone who isn't terrified of us." Oh, wait, you know what? Those shepherds over there, they're pretty fearless. They face bears and lions and wolves on a regular basis. Maybe they won't run away in terror. Maybe they won't give in to their fear. God bless. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.